President Trump wants to take back an Afghan military base to keep an eye on
China.
This could cause a ton of problems that leaves one wondering if it's even possible. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. I got a quick favor to ask you. Some young guy told me, despite being subscribed, when he searched for China Uncensored on YouTube, nothing was suggested. Let me know if that's a problem for you. Anyway, hey, remember Afghanistan? The home of America's longest war? And that place President Trump tried to get the U.S. out of back in his first term, which President Biden did with less than stellar results. Well, turns out Trump wants back in. So America's forever war that ended is about to get foreverer. More specifically, he wants to return to Bagram Air Base in eastern Afghanistan, around 30 miles from Kabul.
We're going to keep Bagram, the big air base, one of the biggest air bases in the world. We gave it to him for nothing. We're trying to get it back, by the way. Okay, that could be a little breaking news. We're trying to get it back because they need things from us.
Wow. Starmer's face when Trump announces that the U.S. wants Bagram Air Base back is priceless. But I don't blame him. Afghanistan was an absolute fiasco for years, and the UK was right there alongside the US. Which raises two questions. First, is Trump serious? It would seem so. After all, there's this.
We want it back, and we want it back soon, right away. And if they don't do it, you're going to find out what I'm going to do.
And then there's his Truth Social post where he said that if Afghanistan doesn't give Bagram Air Base back to those who built it, the United States of America, bad things are gonna happen. Okay, setting aside for a moment the fact that the base was built by the Soviets and only later expanded by the US, that sounds pretty serious to me. Although you never really know with Trump. And speaking of, here's the second question. Why on earth would anyone, especially Trump, want to go through the trouble of trying to get Bagram Air Base back? Well, as usual, the answer is China.
We want that base back. But one of the reasons we want the base is, as you know, it's an hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons.
It's unclear exactly what nuclear facility the Donald is referring to. After all, he wasn't very specific. An hour by what? Car? Train? Fighter jet flying at Mach 2? What kind of distances are we talking here? One idea is that he could be talking about China's testing range at Lopner in Xinjiang. Or maybe he's talking about other Chinese silos just a little bit further away. Nobody knows for sure. What is for certain is that China has been expanding its nuclear capacity fast. And it has ruled out participating in denuclearization talks with the US and Russia, as suggested by Trump. The Chinese Communist Party also just held its biggest ever military parade and showcased its nuclear weapons. So the US definitely wants to keep an eye on China's nuclear facilities. But that's not the only reason Trump wants Bagram. Lots more of this episode to come, but first, if you like this kind of deep dive into what's really going on in China, you've got to subscribe to my premium website, ChinaUncensored.tv. You'll become part of an exclusive community with episodes and live streams we can't put on YouTube, and you can chat with me and the team directly. YouTube has really been putting the screws on us, and China Uncensored can't continue without your support. And buying a membership is the best way you can. It's just the price of a bag of coffee. Once again, that's ChinaUncensored.tv. So many of China's missile facilities and other military sites are in western and central areas of the country that are within surveillance distance from Afghanistan, which is a much better spying tactic than relying on balloons that they'd swear were totally civilian and for weather. And Xi Jinping has been talking a lot about establishing a new world order, which obviously includes the CCP, but also other Western foes such as Russia and Iran, which are also conveniently close to Afghanistan. It's the most villainous New World Order since the one with Hulk Hogan in it, which was one Trump could have gotten behind. If the White House's plan on retaking Bagram Air Base did work, it could either deter China and its partners or make it easier for the US and its allies to monitor them and prepare for the worst. On top of that, China has ambitions on mining minerals in Afghanistan, even under a regime like the Taliban. In fact, around 5 days after the US left, one retired PLA senior colonel wrote that Afghanistan has what China most prizes, $1 trillion in untapped mineral deposits. This would be a lot harder for them to do if the US had a presence in Afghanistan. But how feasible is this? Well, there are some definite roadblocks, that's for sure. For one, the U.S. doesn't recognize the Taliban regime, although talks are ongoing over returning American hostages. For another, the Taliban rejected the idea, saying Afghanistan's independence and territorial integrity are of the utmost importance. Meanwhile, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Lin Jian said the U.S. should stay out because it's stoking tensions and creating confrontation. And this doesn't happen often, but I can see where he's coming from. Experts are warning that any attempt to get Bagram Air Base back could look like a re-invasion. According to The Independent, one anonymous official estimated securing the base would take 10,000 U.S. soldiers who would need to secure its massive perimeter so that Americans inside wouldn't face a constant threat of rocket attack. I know nostalgia for the 2000s is in right now, but it's hard to imagine that U.S. citizens want an Afghan war do-over. In addition, some officials said it would be an expensive logistical headache with a U.S. enclave within a landlocked, semi-hostile country in range of missiles launched from both China and Iran, who I assume are classified as hostile countries. A former senior defense official also said that, "I don't think there's a particular military advantage to being up there. The risks sort of outweigh the advantages." As of right now, there's no plan to use force to retake Bagram Air Base. So what is Trump thinking? Is this just a big ask? Is it some kind of pressure point in the ongoing U.S.-China trade talks? Is it just a random thought that popped into his head? Who knows? But one thing's for sure, the U.S. is very concerned about the CCP's nuclear capabilities and growing military might. And even if it doesn't include returning to Afghanistan, it's quite clear that the U.S. does need a serious plan to monitor the CCP, even if it involves breaking the UK Prime Minister. And don't let YouTube break China Uncensored. Click this button to check out the exclusive China Uncensored website and save us from demonetization. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thank you for watching.